This isn't about getting it right, it's about choosing wisely. If you feel worn down in a way sleep doesn't fix, if everything feels urgent but nothing feels settled, if you find yourself reacting faster than you're thinking, you're not alone. I want to talk with you for a bit, not at you, but about something I'm still learning myself. Because when everything feels urgent, something important starts to disappear, and that's clarity. Now, a lot of people right now feel controlled by forces they didn't choose. They're not stupid, they're not lazy, and it's not disengaged. Just pushed. Pushed to respond, pushed to decide now, pushed to act before things are too late. And when that pressure becomes constant, something subtle happens. We stop planning, we stop thinking through consequences, and we start reaching for whatever brings immediate relief. And that relief can feel like action, it can feel like progress, but often it's just movement. And movement doesn't really get us anywhere. When everything feels urgent, clarity erodes. Not all at once, it's done quietly. This isn't just about individuals, it's about the environment we're living in. We're surrounded by systems that reward speed, certainty, and reaction. Technology removes that friction, but friction's used to protect us. Friction slowed conversations down. It gave relationships time to breathe. It created space for second thoughts. Now disagreements escalate fast, not just in politics, but in marriages, friendships, churches, and communities. Words become ammunition, and once someone throws a grenade, the other side's throwing it right back. Not because either side planned to destroy the relationship, but because neither side knows how to surrender that moment. And technology can accelerate that conflict, but it cannot deliver compassion, and it cannot lay down a sword. I don't think this is a permanent situation. I think it's a season. And I see signs, especially in younger people, that many are watching this behavior and they're quietly deciding there has to be a better way to live. I didn't see this clearly at first. I became aware of how rushing everything, pushing to get started, and forcing things to happen replaced discernment in my life. I wasn't trying to do the wrong thing. I just felt like I needed to make it happen before it was too late. When everything feels urgent, clarity arose. And for me, that meant shifting positions quickly over time, and nothing really landed. Even the things that looked successful on the outside didn't land. They created complexity I later had to clean up. What surprised me was realizing how many people were moving without noticing it. What slowed me down enough to see this was reviewing my own words. I started to notice that I was reacting more than reasoning, and what unsettled me was realizing that I trusted my instinct more than my thinking. Now, that mattered because instinct moved faster than wisdom. And once I saw that, I couldn't ignore the pattern anymore. It opened the door to learning to pause. So here's what I started to realize. Most of us don't need certainty, we need discernment. Certainty feels comforting, but it often shuts down thinking. Discernment creates space to weigh consequences. And when we weigh consequences, we regain the ability to respond instead of react. Discernment isn't about having the right answer. It's about paying attention before acting. Now, these aren't rules. They're questions I'm learning to practice. Before I act, I try to ask myself, what am I actually trying to accomplish? That question matters because we confuse movement with progress. Asking it forces me to separate relief from resolution. Another question I've learned to ask is, what's forming this reaction? And that matters because habit shapes instincts. Noticing that gives me the chance to interrupt patterns. A third question I try to ask is, if I continue down this path, is this forming the life I want? That question matters because drift is easy to miss. Asking it helps me to course correct early. Now, this isn't about getting it right. It's about choosing wisely. And none of this happens all at once. It happens as we make small adjustments. I'm still learning this too, noticing it in real time. And if any of this resonates, you're not alone.